Let's sit down. I'll probably want to sit down for this one. You know, last night, it's weird when I make the videos around here, when I'm following the almighty algorithm. Wow, 20, 30 minutes. Cool. It's not going to take long to load it all. And then my beautiful brain goes, wait, goes another direction. 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 44 minutes. 2 hours and 57 minutes. 2 hours and 53 minutes. 2 hours and 35 minutes. 2 hours and 44 minutes. Okay. That's how it works when he's going against the great and almighty algorithm. Oh, you military murderers. When you talk about military murderers, when you're talking about James Bond, right? James Bond's an asshole, right? Q's an asshole. James Diddy Dench is an asshole. They have to kill the assholes that are trying to be the new upstart, up-and-coming assholes. We've got to protect King Charles. Somebody's trying to replace King Charles as the top money-grubbing. You give me all the money I give you. I piss off the balcony. Evil, Evil. They don't just spend 7 years in evil school to be called doctor. These people have been doctoring evil and perfecting evil, and the perfection of evil school, if you can call it perfection. There is no perfection. None of them are like Job. Job is perfect, but none of them are. And so they've been experts at evil for over 10,000 years, right? And you're just like, fuck, And what if I told you, this is more tangible than your magic cartoon Jesus in your head being in the sky and watching everything and doing nothing to help us? That corporations got together and said, in order for this story of mass genocide of the God Jesus to exist, we need to make it so. So we need to do a science project to take his body and move him from the past to the future. So when people talk to him, he's different than everybody else. No, it's different with Jesus. It's different. He's in the kingdom of heaven. I know he is. Oh, the kingdom of heaven is living the Lord's Prayer on planet Earth and everybody accepting that faithfully and doing it. So if he was moved by corporations, they call themselves religions, and he was physically moved from our past on planet Earth to the future on planet Earth, you pray to him, you'd feel that. And he would be, after you're dead, in future, he's in heaven, right? So it's the classic of all blunders. It's Vicini on fentanyl and crack cocaine. Just kill yourself, you'll go to heaven, right? It's the magic place. Decrease the surplus population. Make it more comfortable for us great and all-powerful mighty Oz rulers, right? When you look at it from a business standpoint, it's if you're Louis Farrakhan describing Adolf Hitler, it's wickedly great, it's genius, right? But if you're a religious person that wants to live the Lord's Prayer right now, so your niece's son doesn't die from heart disease before he even reaches 1 year old, your nephew is dying from cancer because of all the stress of economic warfare, conflict, and espionage. Your sister is possibly dying from cancer because of the same conditions. They feel hopeless, and they, instead of, just do this. Like I told Dad yesterday, you get these people, we're in genocidal cesspools being tortured by military operations that have you just be constantly hopeless unless you're addicted to winning that Formula One race, unless you're addicted to, I like killing people in foreign countries for status quo operations. It's fun, makes me feel good, Mama. It's like the Expendables, and it's like an adrenaline rush from beginning to end. It's like a video game that when I conquer it, I got to get a new one to conquer the next one. It's horrid, right? It's horrid. It's disgusting. It's just a constant dopamine rush that never stops. Right? And it's a constant threat to the species and to the ecosystem of the planet. Okay. Yeah, you ever watch Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have all this stuff and the stupid, it'll be the greatest ending of all Wakanda kingdoms and and you're like watching it going, this is insane and retarded. They would genetically engineer killing beasts to kill off the other army because they were more efficient at killing. But they follow orders blindly and just kill. Hey, these mighty men are the Green Beret. Hey, Marine, go fuck her in the ass. Okay, make sure she's a good Marine. And they're fucking crazy. Okay. And it's like that guy waiting in the toilet paper line on Moscow on the Hudson. If I were crazy, would I be able to tell you I was crazy? No. Okay. Like that idiot here in town with his Vietnam hat, and I was calling in airstrikes and we were swapping war stories. I said, man, I was the most capable killer in my time in the service. And I rejected it because I didn't want to kill people to maintain a status quo for wealthy people and kill the poor for the rich. And I was calling in airstrikes, and I told him about, and the shooting thing. And, I thought 450. Well, he sits there and says, 3/4 a mile away, you went 40 for 40 without a scope, which I probably could do on a straight, yeah, probably could. 3/4 of a mile away. If you were coming at me in the desert on a straight thing, on a salt flat near Salt Lake City, and I had an M16 and I could see you coming, you're 3/4 of a mile away, I could put 40 bullets in your midsection, probably even today with not that great of eyesight, Atticus Finch. So do you understand? Yeah, 3/4 mile. Yeah. If it was on a straight line and there was nothing in the way and I'm looking down the road, you can't see a car coming on a straight line when you're driving out towards White Sands on a road 3/4 mile away. You called in airstrikes. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. But I didn't say 3/4. I said 1/4 of a mile away. And he was trying to convince me that he called in airstrikes to drop bombs and napalm on stuff in Vietnam. Is like, you can't tell the difference between 3/4 and 1/4 mile in yards. And you're trying to convince me with your war story that you did this. You Mexicans are doing that all the time. You're like Ron Ortiz in Santa Fe. You need to quit lying to be, one of your top killer war buddies. Just be a good person and have all your kids tell everybody, Dad never beat on Mom. Dad never cheated. Dad always taught the kids not to torture the frogs. Dad was good to the dogs and the cats. He didn't beat them when they tore up. My dad, that dog, she tore up the inside, $400, the inside of a U-Haul. I thought Dad was going to kill Jiggles. He didn't kill Jiggles. We got duct tape and taped it up as best we can. And I had to sit all the way from Salt Lake City to Colville, Washington on springs. Your ass is hardened. You're just looking at that dog, you stupid dog. Make my butt hurt bad. Okay. I think it hurt sitting on those springs and shit with that duct tape more than it did if Dad had kicked my ass for Jiggles doing it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so you guys got to understand, all the heathens and hypocrites before you, Charlton Heston, whatever, whoever, Rockefeller sits there and says, no, there's a thing called genetic genome sequencing. And we can sequence, especially through mass communications, who is the guy on planet Earth, most like your God, Jesus Christ, today on planet Earth. And they can take my surveillance and show it to him. What's he doing right there? He's masturbating, looking at this. Oh, what's he doing right there? He's, all the things teenage kids do, okay, on American Pie, 70s show. Wonder Years, Malcolm in the Middle, right? Doing all those things. Okay. Only far better than Charlton Heston and Gordon B. Hinckley and Spencer J. Kimball ever thought. Okay. I said I turned down being a professional basketball player because they offered me a scholarship to a college that had a curriculum I did not agree with, and I didn't want to put Paul Westphal and Coach Hernandez into the moral dilemma of having to be Wayne Kendall, my high school coach, who cheated and made the teachers change my grade to get me on the basketball team. And I told them, I can't go to your school. I won't put you in that position. That's wrong. You're fine, upstanding religious men. And I consider myself a Buddhist, which is different than your Christian religion. I think I'm going to try to go walk on at someplace like Western New Mexico. And Coach Hernandez said, that's a renegade program. I said, I can work with that. I can get guys to be good when they're being bad. No, you don't want to do that. You can ask Kevin Holloway. Coach isn't your friend. He cheats on your grades. And then when you go to try to go to Nebraska or UCLA or Oklahoma, you're not going to academically qualify. Kevin went to Glendale Community College. After Glendale Community College, he ended up working at Coca-Cola and trying to get a spot on NWA. Okay, do you understand? I was a better friend to Kevin Holloway, one of the fastest guys in the United States in Phoenix, Arizona, playing football. I was faster than he was. Yeah, I was. So was Art Caswell. But Art wasn't in the thing because Art was always academically ineligible. He always screwed stuff up. No, Art was a good guy. Me and Art were friends too. And me and Art were kind of closer friends than me and Kevin, because Art was a little bit more, Kevin was a little bit more one of those white guys, white black guys. And he had a little bit, he fit in with the white guys real well. And Art didn't, because Art's dad was a little bit more, Bretton Wood. He was a little bit more black. And Kevin could be more Jackie Robinson. And Art was less Jackie Robinson. What's up, my nigga? What's up? That was Art, And so me and Art, we talked and conversed and about what was going on more than me and Kevin. Kevin, I would just sit there and tell him, these white guys is using you, man. And you got to come to terms with it. They go, fuck you in the end. And then he tried to get Easy-E. And they would go on, my nigga, just rest your soul. And Easy-E was just using Kevin for a place to stay in his money when he was scared of getting killed in Compton and staying in Phoenix. He didn't put Kevin in the group. He told him he was, but he didn't mean it. I told my girl bye-bye, but I dearly didn't mean. I'm sure Bone Folks in Harmony had to do the same thing to survive the streets too. Smoky dog, okay? All you smoky dogs out there. Okay, so hang in there, man. I'm working on it. I'm correcting their bad technology. I am the spirit of the Lord. So if you pay to me, I'll be like, I ain't listening to you. Why, smoky dog? I ain't got time for your money and your fucking, but your money's on your mind? Well, you go do that and I'll help give your children the Lord's Prayer. You're welcome. Okay, peace out, man, all right? You smoky dogs, you.